Hello, everyone. Welcome to BizChicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and take the hassle out of your hustle. Today, we're here with Coach Caren from Profits in Daily. You can find her everywhere on the web at Profits in Daily. And she's going to be talking to us about different aspects of your business in terms of training, in terms of preparing for future um, leadership roles in your business. And so we're going to get this party started. Coach, we're so happy to have you. She's here all the way from Toronto, Canada. So welcome, welcome, welcome. What do you have for us today, Coach?
Well, let me go back a little bit. We started off this month talking about, employees and the duties, like the duties that you're doing right now in your business, that someday might be passed on to an employee or a subcontractor. And so we want to be diligent in documenting what it is you do in your business, paying really close attention. Get a running daily log. It really surprises yourself in what's happening. I am putting myself through a 14-month year, and it started in November. And it's just amazing to me, although I go through this stuff all the time, there's little things that I never even realized that I was covering, that I was doing. And so because I take a daily log of myself and what happens Monday to Friday in my work life, it really showcased to me all that I do, all that I train myself on, all that I train people on. And it's a real good booster for the businesswoman, let me tell you, especially coming around to this time. If you're Christmassy like me, love Christmas. I spend 2 weeks getting my house in order, baking and doing all those wonderful things I enjoy doing. And it helps me to make space for that time to do whatever I needed to do because of me understanding what my year need to look like. And I was encouraging you guys since October about planning, November about moving into the plan, December about taking action so that when January hit, you're not scrambling to now decide what to do. It really pushes you back into February if you pay attention when you don't start in December, at least have those steps in place to get into. And I always say position yourself in December, which means you start going to work a certain way, making your mind up a certain way. Yesterday I was just looking at a movie as I was doing some baking. And one of the biggest things that stood out to me in that movie as I was looking at it, not necessarily what the movie was on, but what looked out to me is it's just the way how people carry themselves. For the people who decided they're going to make it, they make it. And for the people who are frightened and scared, they truly don't make it. Or it takes them a longer time. So you have to really get out of your own way, out of your own doorway, and just get in there and do what it is you say you're going to do. Even when you don't think it's possible, you need to get in there, you need to do it because it is possible. You just have to start. You hear to say you got to start and the rest of the stairs will appear. That's exactly what it means. You got to start. And we started in November talking about getting you going and started. Money doesn't jump out of nowhere. You pull it together by doing the things that you are supposed to do. So without any further ado, today we're going to tap in a little bit about training your replacement and then stepping down and understanding how this works, okay? And I'm going to give you little scenarios and little stories along the way because I watch people in action make this happen. I myself watch it happen. And so this is, I tell you, it's doable. It feels like it's not doable when you hear about it or you watch people in $1 million companies. But the truth of the matter, they all started where you started with that great idea, all the things they want to do. So questions to ask yourself, are you building your business to have employees? You need to know that. You need to understand that that's what you're doing. So you build it like that. If you're building your business to be sold, you build it in mind with all the system in place because you rarely sell somebody systems in place. That's what you're selling them. I don't care what the business is about. You're selling them the system in place that you've already developed that they can take and move it further ahead and grow it in whatever direction they want. They're still looking towards you for the foundational part of things. What is most important to you when hiring? You need to know these things. These things are things you need to talk to yourself about. Like, what do I want to see? Like, what kind of employees I want, so you don't pick the wrong people. And I'm going to tell you, you're going to pick some wrong people and you're going to pick some right people. And while doing that, you can decide. But if you come in knowing who you want, even when you pick the wrong ones, it wouldn't be that wrong. It'll just be something off, and most likely you can fix it or let them go. Is the business making enough money to do so? You got to find out, is it making you enough money? to pay somebody? Or even if the business is not making enough money to pay somebody, will it make enough money to pay somebody if you step away? Because sometimes having, not sometimes, let me recorrect, having employees make you more money in your business, period. Let me just state that. Once you set up your business right, having employees in your business make you more money. When you're the only person in your business, you have it as a chokehold, but you don't know that because you're enjoying whatever it is you are doing. And you're neglecting the other parts that you don't like. And so that's where the chokehold come in. People say chokehold, but they don't explain it to you. Or you have to be in a group or some kind of mastermind, some heavy level hitting money people for them to tell you what I'm saying to you here. It sounds simple, but trust me on this. This is all right. And then we're going to talk a little bit about what's on your time, your timeline shows. Like, what are you doing to promote to have this happen? Are you working on the details to get you there? And do you need to be financially stable first? These are all questions to be answered. So I'm going to, I got 30 minutes and I'm going to tell you a bunch of things really quickly in 30 minutes. And Terry is a little hard today. So she says I'm going to be doing most of the talking.
Yes,
So
you are.
guys, hold on to your seatbelts. All right. So are you building your business for employees? If the answer is no, no problem. You can still have some contractors. And I tell you why. When you burn out after 6 weeks of going hard or 3 months, your business is going to suffer. And the retirement that you think you're going to get out of the business is you going back to work to get the retirement. So think really wisely when you say, I don't want to run this business. Think wisely. You don't have to have employees, but subcontractors would come in really well so that you don't burn out too early and shoot yourself in the foot so that you didn't get to see the fruits of your true labor. Because business take a while to be great. A business takes, let me repeat that, a while to be great. To be really great, it takes a while.
Oh, wow.
All right. This is don't listen to this. It's not true. Maybe they had several business, they let it go, and now they are using all the skills that they gather from that business and throw it into this business, which is the marketing, the money management, and the money collecting issues. So once they figure that out, they're putting it into this business that took them 6 months because of all the years of training over there. If this is your first business, there's a lot of learning curve. If you have the money or you want to budget towards it, you hire a coach, you get a strategist in there, and they'll show you things that you might not or think about but don't know how to execute it, don't know how to get it off the ground, don't know how to move it forward at the pace that is good for you and your business, or make sense so that you don't burn out. So you got to know this. This is important. Am I starting this business to get employees? Do I going to work on contractors, or am I starting this business to sell it? All right. And people don't like buy businesses, by the way. That is a one-man show. It's not, yeah. I'm buying a business so it could ease me. So if I come with 6 minimum employees, I am happy. Most employees get all upset and they're taking over. Nobody's going to want me. No, they want to see the work you're doing. If you're doing it good, they're going to keep you. If you're inefficient, they're going to replace you. Because they're coming in with somebody who's talking in their ear about, hey, this doesn't work. This doesn't work. Like, how can we fix it? All right. So that's what they're doing. What is most important to you when you're hiring? Is it important to you to treat them kind? Do you want a family atmosphere? Are you looking for people who just come into work and leave? Like, you need to know these for your business. Those are the people you want in there. Your diehard right-hand gal or man who's going to be there for you. This dedicated worker that you also going to treat well. Birthdays, remember their Christmases, remember their kids, their grandchildren, things. If there's the kind of company you want to build, those people are going to show up for you because you're setting the pace in advance.
I see.
That's no small feat. It's a good thing. People keep coming back. They send you good people themselves. All right. Is the business making enough money to do so? If it's not at the moment, how are you going to fix that so that you could hire? How are you going to fix it? And fixing doesn't come from throwing more money at it. Fixes come from understanding who you are. And if you don't, you need to go investigate, find that out so that you can take that information and understand how you're going to hire people.
Mm.
You've got to spend some time. Everything that you think takes too long to get down and do, those are the very things that you must do to grow your company. Again, everything that you think is going to take you way too long to learn to do, those are the things that's going to grow your company. And sometimes you grow your company without money, and sometimes you grow your company and your company seems like it's not making money. But if the goal is there and the processes are there, the money will appear. You don't have
Okay.
to do anything. The money will appear. I promise you. It'll appear. I've watched it. I've experienced it. I've People have doubted me, and then they're like,
Mm-hmm.
"Caren, I don't know what to tell you, but here we are."
Here
Yes.
we are.
So it's proven fact. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Good. We got there. 11 minutes. Let's keep going. Now we're going to talk a little bit about what's on your timeline, like what's in your showroom. What
Yeah.
are your promotions like? Sometimes when you're a small business, you look at big companies and you're like, I wish I could do this. Get yourself cardboard, get yourself printer's paper, get yourself markers, get yourself glue. And let me tell you, next year when I'm on this show, I'm going to be doing a lot of show and tell. What do you do with your stuff? Set up mock-ups, behave as though you're doing commercials for your business, get yourself in there and promote the heck out of your company. When
Mm-hmm.
you do this, you're actively moving, you're taking action. And when you take action, what happens? More of it happens. It's like if
Mm-hmm.
you're in bed all the time and you're doing nothing, the longer you stay in the bed, the longer you don't want to get out of bed.
Yeah.
I had corona, and I feel like mine lasts me a whole month in terms of getting back my energy and what have you. And so for the first 10 days, I slept, and boy did I sleep. And I think about day 13, I got up, and when I took my shower, I was bending in between people. When I took my shower on day 13, I remember doing stretches in the shower. And I said to myself, I said, Caren, if you start working out, you can build back up your energy because that's what you do. And I start very little, just 5 minutes of stretching. And then within 2 days, 10 minutes, 15 minutes by the end of the week. And I
Mm-hmm.
was just stretching. And then the next week I said, okay, what else could I add? I could do push-ups. My arms are not strong, but could I do on my knees? So, or could I stand on the wall? So anything that would allow me to do it at a slow pace, I did. And I little by little built back my strength. I just let everything else go and focus on building up my strength. And that's what I ask you to do in your business. Focus on you and building up where you need to be. What's going to get you to where you need to be? Like I took a week off just to listen, be in
Uh-huh.
the presence of the Lord, and just focus on doing some things. Because I know what makes me hear clearly. And some people haven't reached there yet, but if you haven't, pay attention to what make you hear clearly. Not only talk, what make you hear clearly. Because sometimes you pray and you ask it, but what makes you hear the Father clearly?
Mm.
You know,
That's
for me, it's cleaning.
mm-hmm.
Makes me hear the Father clearly. It's cooking. Sometimes it's just quietly lying on my couch
Mm.
or just listening to a pastor preach, and I would just be there soaking it in. And then once it's quiet now, I can hear some things. So find out, because that is that's your strength. That's going to carry you through when the hard times hit, because it will and it must, because it's your lesson, it's your teacher. Embrace it and find out what it is serving up to you, because
Oh
you
my.
have to take that to serve others. This
Mm-hmm.
is so important.
Wow.
So important.
I like that. I'm glad you brought that up. It is really important to know what's in your heart and to be able to hear what he put there.
Yes, you have to pay attention. You have to pay attention. And when I look around on the work I'm doing to today and the work I'm going to be doing down the road,
Mm-hmm.
God has had me looking back since September. And I was asking him, why am I looking back? Why am I looking back? It's gone. Like, am I looking back because I wish I was there? And it was clear as day. No, I was in some muddy waters, and he wanted me to look back to see how far he's brought me. He wanted me to look back to see the things that I thought was so difficult, how they really weren't, because I did them.
You got
Because he was
it.
right there showing me,
Mhm.
you
Wow.
know? And so when sometimes God wants you to look back, it's not for the punishment or how hard it was. In whichever timeline he's having you look back at,
Mhm.
it's for you to see where you've been and how far he's brought you through, where he's positioned you, your strength, your bravery, your gentleness. For me, those are the things that come to mind. My
Mhm.
caring, my I can be broke as a button, broke as a joke. Myron, Pastor Myron like to say, and want to choke, but I will be as happy as a lark, and you would know it, because I am focusing on what I'm doing and
Mhm.
what is supposed to come, because right now, this is where I'm at. So you got to really pay attention to you, how you feel, and how you bring forth things in spite of. I've been accused of being annoyingly happy, always happy. You can't be this happy all the time. Nothing bothers you.
Yeah.
Of course it does, but I have positioned myself, because the Father's decided that's not for me. And it doesn't have to be for you either, no matter what circumstances you're in. Trust me on this. You got to keep your head up and keep stepping, because it only gets better. And so you want to get those kind of things ready. I talk about promotion because we're talking about marketing here and strategy. Strategy and marketing is not only DMing people or emailing people, it's how you set up you, how you set you up. 12 months, 6 months, 3 months, that's the first quarter, monthly, bi-weekly, weekly. What does my day look like? Do you come into work excited knowing what you're going to get done? And what's going to be off your plate eventually? I mean, it's exciting to know what to do, but to know that if I was doing this list, you know, in a couple of months, I could be doing this and then this. And then my focus could be just this little tiny bit where I'm focusing on training. I'm focusing on training. You got to constantly learn yourself so that you can be the best trainer in your company until you hire a better trainer than you. And this is good.
This is good. I like it.
This is good. This is good. And so I asked, are you working on the details to get you there? You have to work on the details. When somebody said to me, I'm in my business working night and day, I don't have time for details, I say, then you're not working night and day. You're just working. And you're so exhausted because you haven't decided how to work, that you're so exhausted that you can't focus on anything else. If that's the case, then you're going to have to give yourself the time to get up and get in your business work before you go to work, so that you understand it. That's why I personally believe in studying before I start work daily. I study for 2 hours before I start work, so that at the end of the day, I'm not too tired to go study. I study, and that study means I could be researching, I could be writing a blog. I could be researching. No, that's in my stuff. I could be researching something. I could be giving myself a own self course. I may be in a course and I'm working through that course, and so those 2 hours is me expanding myself. So when I get to work now, I'm not saying at the end of the day, I don't know if I'm going to get to it. No, I'm finished. So I am focusing. This is my work for the day. I'm going to write a blog. I'm writing a chapter in my book. I'm researching X, Y, and Z. Maybe I'm checking on my website to see where it's at. I'm going into strategy. Whatever it is for that day, I'm meeting with a client for coaching. Then I got to write her stuff up. I'm doing all those things. Those things are set up for my day. If my day finish at 2, I'm not trying to do anything to hit 4 o'clock. Like, it finished at 2. But that's because I've set the pace. I've had breakfast, I've had lunch in there, I'm having a break, and I could relax before dinner. I could read a book before.
Mm.
I could watch a YouTube before dinner. I am not feeling like I can't do anything anymore because I've set my pace, and that's what I did for the day. And this comes down to the planning we've spoken about, and the moving forward, and the taking action. And yes, things are going to happen, and people are going to want you to do stuff, and everything is going to happen. But you're not
Yeah.
going to do all of them because
Mhm.
they're not part of what we set up to do, right? Now, you have to do all of this while figuring out how you're going to be financially stable. Because when you're starting a business, is not great, but it's okay when enough money's not there to do whatever you're doing. But if you're going to be stepping down, you don't want to be stepping down and say, well, I can't pay myself. No, 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 no. We don't do that here. You're stepping down because your salary is set and you can pay you. You can pay the people you hired because you've trained the trainer by this point to train them well. When there's any problem, they're not coming to you, they're going to the trainer who speaks to you. That's it. If eventually you want to be an absentee owner, then of course you're also going to step down from that position and the trainer doesn't speak to you. The trainer speaks to who took your place. That's it. Once a week you check in. Once a week you check in if you're that person. Some people check in once a month. I once had a mentor that check in 4 times a year. And he had a real estate company 4 times a year. And if it's really, really, really serious, you got to talk to his wife to get to him. Because he says he has no common sense. He said, women have all the senses. I'm just telling you right now. So if my wife think that the earth is shifting, then I'll take it. He said, that's why she's part of my business, because I wanted her to filter out the things that I used to take on, because I wasn't the person. So if you know that you don't have that quality, get somebody to help you through so you can understand. 4 times a year. And this man ran a multi-million-dollar real estate company. Okay, guys? And this man is busy as ever. Well, used to be busy as ever. And he says, I went to Tobago and I met a man through a friend. And the man said to him, why are you so busy? This Tobago man, because he was sitting by the water. And he says, well, I run a big company. He says, no. Why are you so busy? And he says, he told the man all kind of thing. And the man says, no. I'm the last great company. I want to know, why are you so busy? Are you busy because you're busy looking after your wife? Are you busy because you're helping your kids? Are you busy because you're taking your grandkids to school? And none of that was on the radar. He was busy running behind people and the new thing and whatever else was happening. And he says, I won't get into all the other stuff, but when the guy finished talking to him, he says, I'm going to tell you guys this. Because we were in this big conference room when he told the story. He says, I'm going to tell you this guy. I went to spend a week. I ended up spending 2 weeks because I spent an extra week with this old guy. Because when I learned that the man was and this is something people don't realize, especially in the West Indies or from South America, there's a lot of people as billionaires. They're just quietly billionaires. It's not registered. It's not, you guys wouldn't know. You see them. And he says, when he's finished talking to this man and he realized how wealthy the man was, and he was just sitting by the water. He said, are you contented? Are you serving the Lord? Are you paying attention to what he's putting in your heart? Are you looking after the people who need looking after?
That's a good one.
Because if you're not, you're busy for no good reason. So he said he got himself and he sit down and he learned a few things. So be careful when you get too busy. When you get too busy, take a week off, take 3 days off, take 2 days off. And as I said, just spend some time listening. Just spend some time getting to know you again, to see in your heart at this place now, if this is where you want to be, if this business is for you. It sounds scary, but you got to do it. Because when you do it, these other things happen. You're able to train people, to train your trainer. You're able to step down and allow somebody else to be the face. It's okay. People know it's your company, but you're allowing them to do the day-to-day tasks that probably you don't need to do anymore because the time is up. This is something, it's like friendships. Some friendships just finish and the time is up. The friendship is finished, and it didn't matter how hard you try, you can't get back into the rhythm. It's done.
Okay.
And so if it's done, it's done. And that doesn't mean your business is done. It just means this part of your business, this part that you've been so active in is done right now. Somebody else is going to be able to do it better than you at this point in the business game. But these things happen when you start allowing and you fall and things fall into place. Remember, you got to know why you're building the business. You have to understand what it will take of you, because everything that you've given, you got to pay something to get it, period. Everything. There's no getting away with. I don't have enough money for. If it's not money, it's your time.
Mm-hmm.
It's your it's your health. It's something. So you got to figure out what is it I want to do. And anytime somebody told me I'm broke and I can't afford coaching, I don't argue with them because they have to know where they are. But I ask them to ask themselves, could you really not afford coaching? Or at this time, this is not what I could do.
Mm-hmm.
Because you don't have to be coaching with me. This is not to put pressure on you. I don't sell with pressure. This is just so you can get coaching where you're just following somebody, watching a webinar. You can be coached through yourself at the moment, just examine you. This is self coaching. There's a lot of ways to it until you can get somebody in your corner. And when you're self coaching, you got to ask yourself a lot of hard questions, which might be hard for people to, you know, be able to do at times. Or you watch videos, you get in there, but you do the work. Matter of fact, when you do that kind of work and you come to a coach, you're better off. You gain more because you're coming in with a lot of things. You know, it's like a runner who can't run, or I went to school with this kid who wanted to run but never had a good running shoes, you know, and so, but he still ran. And I remember we had a new teacher that came to the school, and he said to Colin, he says, "Why are you wearing that beat up shoes to run?" He says, "If I wear my good shoes, I wouldn't have another shoes. These are the two." And without the teacher saying anything, he went and bought him a pair of running shoes. Here's the story. If Colin wasn't running, he wouldn't get the new pair of running shoes.
True. True.
He
There's
got
there's the lesson.
right there. You know, and Colin was such a good runner. But nobody noticed he was a good runner because he had a terrible running shoes. He hardly showed up for practice from embarrassment and shame. But he ran on his own. He
Mm.
ran when nobody was watching. And then eventually, God made sure that he put somebody there to give him a running shoe because he was doing the action. And that's what you do with your money, your business, and all that stuff. Don't be afraid to look at your bank account. Get up in the morning, look at your bank account, see where it's at, see where the money's at, see what you're doing, see where you're spending. If it's frightening you, good. Go see how you need to fix it. If you got $5, go look in that account every day to $5 and find out how you're going to make it 10, how you're going to make it 20, how you're going to make it 100. That's your job. Look at the money, see where the money's coming from. Watch where the holes are, fix the hole, fill the hole, get yourself filled up.
Mm.
Being broken poor is a state of mind because there's so much you could do that you will amaze yourself daily. Just so much you can do, you can make it amaze yourself. If you need a job at the moment, go get a job. But understand why you're getting the job. What is it for? What is it financing? How is it going to help you? Do not take the job and put it in the bill. One of the things I really want to leave this year telling you guys is like, when you make money, do not focus on how I'm going to pay my bills. It's got to be paid. Thank you, Lord, for allowing me to pay my bills. It keeps me with water, you know, light, whatever. Thank
Uh-huh.
him for allowing you to pay the bills. But what do you do first? Stop thinking about the bills. That's going to happen. If I've got $25 and I could put $5 away, let me put the $5 first. Let me pay my tithes because I pay tithes. Everybody do what they do, but you know, those are my my top tiers. And then the rest is for you to go figure out how you can pay everything else. And if you don't have enough, you find a way to find the rest. But don't take away those top tiers. Don't take them away. When you take them away, you take away everything. You shoot yourself in the foot.
Mm.
You really shoot yourself in the foot. And you don't notice you're doing it. And you never have. And you're always without. You always feel like you can't make enough. And when those things are happening, it take away from the focus we just talked about. It take away from growing your business. It take away from stepping down. Everything becomes a problem because that's where the focus goes, right? And wherever the focus goes, it keep going.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So let's recap.
Let's recap. I know
Mhm.
I feel your ear today, but let's recap. Today we talk about, are you building your business to have employees? You need to know it. We talk about what is important when you're hiring the people you're going to hire if you're going to have employees or
Mhm.
subcontractor. You need to know the culture of the business. Is your business making enough money? If it's not, sit down and figure out why. Get somebody to talk to. Get down to the nitty gritty. What is on your showcase? Meaning, how are you selling? How are you marketing? How are you promoting? If it's not working, how could you change that? Get in there, read a book, learn how. Very, very important stuff. Don't do willy nilly. Have a target, have a gauge, see where you're going. Put the zero if you didn't sell anything. Don't be afraid to see the zero so you can fix it. Are you working on the details to get you there? And do you need to be stable in your income? We all do. We need to stabilize. People go to work because they know every 2 weeks they're going to get a paycheck. You open a business to pay yourself. Pay yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
Sounds like a plan. Oh my goodness.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Coach. And we really thank you for all of these practical things that we need to be thinking about. We want to thank you for coming in and sharing from your heart what we need to really be concerned about. Because maybe we're focused on the wrong things. And maybe our objective is incorrect. Our objective should be to work less, manage more, and enjoy the fruits of our labor.
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
my gosh. Is
Well
that
put,
not,
Mary. Well put. Well put.
is that not a Christmas present?
Yes.
That is
Yes.
a Christmas present.
Right there. Right there.
Mhm.
Right there.
So with that, guys, we want you to
Give me.
remember
Yeah.
that it's okay to make money in your business. So go to the front of your own line. Coach Caren, if they're looking for you, they can find you at Profits in Daily
Yes.
everywhere on the web.
Everywhere.
Get ready for Coach Caren in 2023. We're coming out of the house. We're working our businesses,
Yes.
and it's time to get ready. So you need to book in advance. Coach, we thank you for your time. We thank all of you who are tuning in live, and for those of you who are watching on the replay, we want to thank you and wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Bye bye, everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye.